shit.
Hey, it's still 6 p.m. on the dot. We're good.
Nice.
Waiting for Jim Strange. Hey, you're not waiting for me. I did the thing. There we go. All right. There
Come
we
on,
go.
the thing, man.
Yeah, yeah. The thing.
You know the deal.
Yeah, precisely. Hey, we are live. All right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right.
Damn straight. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Jim Strange TV. It has been too long, but I have with me today the main dude, my guest today, Jason Garlock. How you doing, Garlock?
Hello. Hello, main dude. I'm not, well, I guess Lobo would be the main man, right? I can be the main
Yeah,
dude.
that's okay. You can be the main dude for this context.
Yeah?
And uh,
Shit,
and
there's a
Garlock,
contest.
Garlic is an expert on all things Romero, all things zombie, and he has proof. Let's see it.
Oh, yeah. So here's my props. I have the unrated DVD of Land of the Dead. And
That's the version I watched.
that's the film today. And just for shits and giggles, I have Diary and
Nice.
Survival, parts 2 and 3 of what I would call the second Romero Dead trilogy, or 5 and 6 of the overall whatever. I want to revisit those because I remember really liking Diary, but I thought Survival was just a totally stupid piece of shit. So I kind of want to reassess it and see if it's maybe just a partially stupid piece of shit. But Land of the Dead is a great movie.
I have not seen Diary, but I need to now. Survival was awful. Survival felt like, yeah, I don't know how to put it. It didn't feel like Romero at all. It felt like a bad parody or something.
The problem I had with Survival is it had a completely stupid plot. Like, it was basically Hatfield and McCoy's for the zombies, and the
Mhm.
Hatfields were like, all zombies should be killed, and then McCoy's were like, all zombies should not be killed because they're our family. And if it were me, like if my
Mhm.
family members turned into zombies, that's just an excuse for me to shoot them. So that's great.
I well, I hadn't seen Land of the Dead in about well since it came out really.
Yeah,
I did not at the time. I wasn't too high on it. I thought it was a good zombie movie. I didn't think it was a great Romero movie. I retract that. I think it's great now. Now that I've seen it with some time between now and then.
yeah.
Um,
I saw it on the
it
big screen. And I
okay,
was I was a little bit disappointed because it was a 20-year wait, and it was one of those things where, like, is he going to make another one ever? Is it going to be
right.
Twilight of the Dead? Is he going to make this big epic conclusion thing? And then I watched it, was like, oh, it's all right, but
Well, I at the time it definitely feels very 2005,
yeah,
which at the time I was like, oh man, this feels like the Vin Diesel on a snowboard of zombie movies. But things have gotten so much worse in the past 15, 20 years that's like, that wasn't that bad.
yeah. Well, his political statement is pretty much like the haves versus the have-nots, but he doesn't. It's not really much more than that.
There was a lot of topical stuff in here that I found off-putting at the time, but looking back, I can like, okay, like you know what, man, you're pretty spot on with a lot of the shit in Romero.
Yeah,
Some of it I'm not on board with, but we'll get to that.
yeah, yeah.
And speaking of 2005, and the first shot of the movie, everything's blue because all horror movies had to be blue back then. I don't know why that is.
This movie was really dark. Not thematically, it was actually not. It was probably the lightest thematically of most of them, but it was kind of
Right.
hard to watch because it was just black. Everything was black.
Well,
Super dark.
I've been posting images of it on Instagram to pimp out the stream, and like on my phone, I'm like, what the hell am I even looking at? People like don't
Yeah,
even know what it is.
yeah. You sent me some pics. I'm like, cool, man. Yeah, they all look
Yeah,
like.
cool, bro. That's very blurry and yeah.
Yeah.
But here we got a band playing, and that's cool. We got some. We're being drug into Romero's world right away.
Yeah, and I think according to the trivia, the song they're playing is like the 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 theme music, I guess, for lack of a better term, to Dawn of the Dead. The
Oh, okay.
just you know,
Nice.
yeah, I think they're playing that. I could be wrong. Trembling, let me know. He's
I
probably wrong.
didn't catch that at all, but that's sweet.
I didn't catch it either. I didn't even catch the cameos. Like the Shaun of the Dead guy cameos that come
Oh
up.
yeah, I've never seen Shaun of the Dead, so I missed that too. But
Oh, you should watch. That's a good movie, man. I'm not gonna say
I'll
you
have to
should
check
watch
it
it,
out.
but yeah,
I'll have to
it's
check it
cool.
out.
Saw that
Greg,
big screen too.
Greg Nicotero did the zombie effects, and I think they look
Yep.
pretty good.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
no
The effects
complaints.
are great. Yeah,
Let's go to
and
the next shot
like
here.
he was kind of Tom Savini's protege, and then he's part of KMB Effects.
Nice, nice. So we got Simon Baker as Riley Denbo, and he's watching the zombies, and the zombies are kind of communicating, and he's like, they're trying to be us. They're trying to be alive. And
Yeah,
well, Riley says, "Isn't that what we're doing? Pretending to be alive." Riley's very existential. He's kind of the edge lord of the movie.
yeah. I mean, he's probably Romero's like voice piece.
I think so. Yeah, Romero is a very cynical guy.
Yeah.
So you definitely get that. The next shot here, we got the Big Daddy. He is the Giga Chad of the zombies.
He's the protagonist of the entire film, I think.
Yeah, kind of the main character in a way. He's
Yeah.
almost, I don't know if I'd say the hero, but definitely protagonist.
Yeah.
Big Daddy's looking at him, and Riley's like, "All right, guys, we got to get out of here because the zombies are on to us."
What's interesting about this is they are kind of just doing their own thing instead of just sniffing out all the humans, and they don't really explain why that is. Like they're trying to
I have
live.
some theories on that. I have some theories, but I'll get to that though because
Okay.
I don't want to give it all away.
Cool.
But yeah, there's Big D. Here we got fucking Cholo played by John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
And Fox. I didn't check who played Fox.
I have
Fox,
no idea.
He's a good wingman though. Maybe not the smartest guy, but he is loyal to the end to Cholo here.
The only people I know from in this movie from other things is Leguizamo, Hopper, and I guess Dario Argento's daughter.
I put because Leguizamo and Hopper, of course, were famously cast together in Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, and this is the unofficial sequel.
Yeah, I put a picture of Mario Brothers up in the flyer. Nobody noticed or didn't care. I don't know either way.
I noticed.
But I thought it was funny. So they're dumping crates into a big giant pile. Something nefarious going on here. He's got a good harpoon gun gimmick. It's not bad. It's kind of a spaghetti western thing.
Yeah, it's very Sabata.
Yeah, you got to have a gimmick weapon.
It makes sense though because it's a lot more silent than like a regular gun. So I can just go boom.
Yeah.
And not attract as much attention.
I've been playing this game, Project Zomboid, and if you shoot a gun, like every zombie within like fucking 5 miles, like goes, "Oh, cool, what's going on here?" And they eat you.
Makes sense.
But not in this movie. Everybody just has guns and they shoot and nothing happens. But Leguizamo has it figured out. He's got a silent weapon. Kind of like Daryl Dixon in Walking Dead for anybody who watches that.
Never seen it.
Hey,
so I guess I'm not an expert on all things zombie. Just
yeah, that's all right. We'll give you a pass.
Unpopular things zombie.
Fox says whole lot of trash this week, and Cholo says that's life, bro. A whole lot of trash. The trick is not to get in with it. Some pretty good snappy dialogue here.
Yeah,
I think Leguizamo's also kind of got a Cholo and Riley are kind of like light and dark, like they're almost like brothers in a way. Like there's a duality there. Like they're both kind of leaning towards the dark side, but Riley has a sense of community, I guess. He's more conscientious.
I guess maybe they're a little bit like Pete and Roger from Dawn. Peter and Roger. Maybe. I don't know. I never thought of like crossing these movies with paralleling the characters between these movies, but maybe.
Yeah, well, I doubt Romero has a long list of archetypes he uses. So
yeah.
Next shot here. We're coming along with you, Charlie.
Charlie's
played by Robert Joy, who he was in Death Wish 5 as Freddie Flakes. Does that ring any bells?
Yeah, I think he's the guy that Bronson poisons, maybe? I don't know, but yeah. Okay, cool, man. You're a Bronson victim. That's awesome.
And it's kind of cool because somebody pulls a gun out on him because they think he's a zombie because his face is all messed up, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Are you good with that kid? Because I'm real good with mine," which is a very Eastwood kind of a line.
Yeah.
But then you realize that he's more like the Lenny of Mice and Men in this
Oh,
movie.
yeah, totally. He's a savant. Yeah.
Yeah, but instead of superhuman strength, he's amazing with a gun.
Yeah.
But he's a cool character. Definitely somebody
Yeah,
that
I like him. They don't really go too much. He's like, there was a fire. Okay, that's pretty obvious. Where'd you learn
right.
how to shoot? Oh, I just did it. No, whatever.
Yeah, somebody taught him.
Yeah.
All right, next shot here. Flowers in the graveyard, because they call these things sky flowers. And Charlie asks why they're called flowers in the graveyard when they're sky flowers in heaven. And Riley says, "That's why I love you, Charlie, because you still believe in heaven." Because Riley is the cynic, and Charlie is the the simple guy who has life figured
Yeah.
out.
The
And,
happy
and, and
naivety.
yeah, and if you're the super cynical guy, you want a guy like that around, somebody with a more positive outlook.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of got a guy like that at my job. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
just
good.
super dopey happy, and I'm just like, fuck everything. So we get along great, actually,
Nice.
mostly.
Next shot here. The Dead Reckoning. This is one of the great gimmicks of the movie. The Dead Reckoning is the kind of the military of the city state, as it were.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Riley tells Cholo that these walkers are different and are communicating, and tells them to be careful. And they both reveal that tonight is their last night.
Yeah, for different reasons.
Cholo is getting out. He wants to buy a house, and Riley wants to split town.
Well, he wants to buy a place. Not
Or a place, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, a
A
place in
condo,
the
basically.
a place in the big place, the Ivory Tower. He wants his spot in the Ivory Tower.
Exactly. Cholo explains to the new guy that they use the fireworks to distract the zombies, and this is kind of a metaphor for things that the establishment uses to distract people. I think.
Yeah, like Marvel movies. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. They're running a psyop,
yeah,
and I think as far as analogies go, I think this is not Romero's strongest analogy because I think it's all about class structure. With,
yeah,
with the lowest class being the zombies. The zombies are people in the third world country that they. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
yeah,
Next shot here. Here you go. You got them kind of acting like marauders, and they're flying the American flag, loud and proud, and they're kind of just taking liberties with the locals. And so I get what you're getting at, but you're betraying the third world as zombies. It's kind of you know,
yeah.
it's a little odd. It's a little forced. It's a little it's like it's reaching a little bit far. But we'll give
One thing when I watched this movie for the first time, I kind of wondered where it took place in the whole, night, dawn, day thing. If it was supposed to be after day, and from all indications from Romero, he said, yeah, it takes place after day. But this seems a lot less post-apocalyptic. Like they still have stores that you can raid and like liquor stores that have booze in them.
I guess it depends on where you're at in the country. Maybe some places got it worse than others.
Yeah,
But
and also in Day of the Dead, like there could have been tons of other people that they had shitty radio equipment from World War II that, so you didn't know what they're the last people or not. There could have been like these guys.
that's true. So he is kind of viewing this as American foreign policy. Here we are with this amazing technology, and we're just coming in and. But like in real life, dude, they're fucking zombies, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah,
But we'll play along for the sake of this movie because we got to do a show.
yeah.
Here.
Zombies as the proletariat is kind of a reach. Yeah, I agree.
Here we got Big Daddy. He is based in Red Pill, and he sees that his fellow townsfolk are falling for the psyop, and he's telling them to put the seed oil down to stop chugging the corn syrup, as it will, but they won't listen. He's like basically Alex Jones with a megaphone in what was that movie? Waking Life, not Waking Life, the other one.
I don't know.
The cartoon one with Keanu. But anyway, he is like, hey guys, uh, yeah, get with the program here.
Yeah, he has like clear leadership capabilities, and
Oh yeah. And it's interesting because their rational minds are gone, the scholastic mind, as it were. But maybe their intuition still exists because I feel like Big Daddy here shows a lot of intuitiveness,
yeah,
almost like almost like he had some kind of mystic ability, like let's say Billy did in Predator, and after he died, some of it stayed with him. Kind of like he's tuned into the cosmos, as it were, or to God, as some would say. And
yeah. I mean, these are basically creatures of instinct, and I mean, it appeared that he was what, a gas station attendant. I mean, is that
he
his?
was, but it seems like he was a soldier at some point too.
Yeah,
So
at some
maybe
point, definitely. Yeah, so he probably has some muscle memory there, like Bub did, or in survival, like they there's a zombie that rides a horse, and there's a bunch of shit given about that. But I was like, well, I mean, okay, I could see it, because if you have that muscle memory, if you have something you just
yeah.
have done in life like over and over and over and over again, then as a zombie, like, why not? You know?
I had 100 problems with that movie, but the horse was not one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I was fine with the horse.
Yeah,
Cholo and his goons roll through, all guns blazing, and Big Daddy is pissed off because they're just wrecking his town. This guy gets decapitated by a bullet, and Big Daddy kind of puts him out of his misery.
yeah. I thought that was pretty poignant. He's like, shit, man, like you shouldn't have to live like this, just staring up into the, I have nobody. Yeah.
Right. Okay, here's the question. Do we know for sure if they're all within the same world? Is each one a different apocalypse, or it seems like there's connections because we see Blade later.
Yeah, the way I understand it is the first four are in the same continuity, and then Diary and Survival are sort of a reboot, because
Okay.
Diary is at the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, but you have all the modern contrivances. The way I would see it is like they're all part of the same thing, and they all take place right around the same time as each other in like the near future. And
Right.
the only one that's really anachronistic is probably Dawn. Like, you watch Night of the Living Dead, it's not really anachronistic at all, aside from like maybe Barbara's haircut. Like,
Right.
because if you go to some hillbilly town, I live in a hillbilly town, like it's totally feasible. Like everything that happens in Night of the Living Dead could happen today.
Yeah.
And
Not Living Dead is permafresh.
yeah, yeah. And Day of the Dead, I think, is pretty like
Oh
I,
yeah.
I'd
Oh
say
yeah.
I'd say
That's
it
good
holds
now.
up.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Dawn, it's one of those new indoor shopping malls. Okay, dude. Like, can't really
Sounds good
say
to me.
nowadays, but I think if you squint, they can all take place pretty much in the same continuity.
Yeah, that works for me, man. It's a massacre. The Skyflowers stop working, and the zombies are on the loose. And they unleash hell on the zombies. And the new guy remarks, "I thought this was going to be a battle, but it's an effing massacre." Very much like I think we all get the analogy here. Like they're massacring a village or something, which is kind of a
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah.
It's like, and I think that's why I didn't like it in '05. It's like, that's kind of cringy, Romero.
It's a sweep and
But
clear,
right. I'm a little more into the symbolism shit now. So okay, I get what you're saying now. I'll roll with it this time.
Yeah. And yeah, it's funny because like, yeah, these zombies are just kind of minding their own business. They're not
They are,
actively like
yeah.
chasing everybody. So,
Well, it's like, can the zombies suffer?
oh
Are
yeah,
they suffering? And
yeah.
and if they can, like you probably shouldn't be using them as paintball targets. That's probably cruel on some level. It's like
It's
yeah,
all about dehumanization, and what's
it
less
really
human than
is.
something that's not alive anymore.
That makes sense to me, man. Against Riley's warning, Cholo and his dudes are raiding a liquor store, and Leguizamo says, "I don't care about love. All I care about is money." And yeah, it's true. Money is his god. And
What does money matter in like the zombie apocalypse? There's no
right,
stores.
is it based on the gold standard? What is it based on?
Yeah,
The dude.
they don't really go into that. But
It's kind of ridiculous. Again, hand wave, like, okay, Romero, what a still let
yeah,
that go.
cool. I'll
Well, like,
give George a pass on a ton of shit, really.
you got to do a lot of hand waving in this movie. You kind of just got to go, okay, I'm along for the ride. But if you
Yeah,
think about it too much, it can kind of fuck it up.
yeah,
Cholo dumps a bunch of cigars behind the counter, and he's like, "Hey, kid, pick that up." And the kid reaches down to pick him up, and it gets bit. So in about a minute here, we've established that Leguizamo's god is money, and he's also a shitty foreman.
yeah.
If you contrast Leguizamo with say Steel from Day of the Dead, it's night and day.
What's funny about this rookie kid is that like he should probably know that the sky flowers, like, it's like when he sees, he sees zombies, he sees fireworks. He should probably know that they look at it's like he was just like ported in. It's like,
Right.
player 2 start.
Right.
You know.
Or he woke up from a coma, I guess, or something.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. All right.
Riley shows up and caps the zombie. The new guy shoots himself in the head. And Riley and Cholo stare. They kind of share a look. Like Cholo kind of knows he was being a piece of shit there. Like Cholo is not a complete monster like Dennis Hopper is.
Yeah.
He's kind of somebody with a moral compass. He's kind of let drift a little too much. He's a little too far gone. Riley is on his way there, but he's kind of anchored by Charlie.
Yeah, they're not just like they're complex characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least complex enough for a zombie movie. Like they're not just your standard, good guy archetype or bad guy archetype or whatever. I mean, Hopper's like definitely
Hopper's a cartoon, man. He's just straight up like
yeah. He's a mustache twirler for sure, or goatee stroker, I guess, right?
Yeah, the mustache guy. I got it. Big Daddy steals a gun, and he seems to remember what one is. And we have a scene reminiscent of Dawn of the Dead of the bikers taking off out of Dodge. But Big Daddy summons his crew, and they follow them back. Next scene here. Charlie mentions that shit happens because that guy died. And Riley says, only if you let it, Charlie.
Yeah, so I thought that was weird because you're not in control of everything in your life, obviously, But also he says earlier, like, nothing's bad's ever happened to me. And then has a story to tell. Oh, that didn't happen to me. That happened to my brother or whatever. Okay, dude. So he's a little bit like sort of detached, I think.
He definitely is, but I also think he's a better foreman than Cholo is.
Yeah.
Like, if I had to choose which crew to be on, I don't want to be on Riley's crew because I might not die.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that.
Next scene here. Did I skip a scene here? We'll go back. I skipped ahead. Sorry, guys. Riley confronts Cholo, and Cholo tells him Riley reminds him of his old man. Nice guy, but never went for anything, so never had anything. So just Leguizamo is a pure materialist, and Riley is more about living honorably. He's kind of a stoic. Cholo is convinced he's going to have a place in Fiddler's Green, and Riley tells him that he's dreaming, and they won't let either of them in there because they're the wrong kind. So I think Romero is telling us something about the elite here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cholo
it's
watches
not a racial divide. It's class.
It's
a wealth divide.
Class.
Yeah, and so Cholo was trying to get into Fiddler's Green just on the money that Hopper owed him, and all Hopper had to do was like, "Fuck you! I'm not paying you. What are you gonna do?" Which is pretty much what happens.
Cholo basically watches a little bit too much MTV and thinks he's gonna be a rock star, and Riley knows it's all about the pedigree, which kind of keeps him more grounded. I think he's a little more, dare I say, red-pilled on reality, I guess. He doesn't let his dreams take him into funny places, I guess. And Cholo is more of a
he's more pragmatic of the two, definitely.
Yeah. All right, next scene here. Where we at? Cholo's checking his guns in, And just in case it's not clear what kind of government we have going on here, we got the skinhead looking guy in the kind of Nazi uniform.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's weird because they don't really establish like are these guys all working for Kaufman? Like, is it his police? Is it is he running the entire show, or is he just running his little apartment building? Or like
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah,
there's no real
I don't.
backstory.
I assume that he's the boss of the town. He's basically the technocratic ruler, I guess, the king or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So all these police are just his personal goons, right? Because
Basically,
all the
yeah.
other movies, like the police and any sort of established law enforcement or anything, it just goes kaput like immediately.
Oh
Like
yeah, totally, totally.
like they set
Well,
up their little zombie aid stations, which get overrun by zombies, and they don't update them, and then yeah, it just goes to shit like super quick. And this seems like almost like just day 2 or something of the whole thing.
Interestingly enough, as Cho is going up the escalator, the lady in the intercom announces that Dennis Hopper or Kaufman is holding a masked ball. Maybe like an eyes wide shut party, maybe.
Oh, probably. I mean,
Yeah, probably something weird, rich people shit.
I'm sure there's no cocaine there.
Next scene, we see the rich people doing rich people things. Their life has gone on as usual.
And it kind of makes you wonder, well, where do they get all this shit? Where do they get all these supplies? Where do they get all this fresh food and stuff? You know?
I guess it must be all looted, but the logistics of this movie don't make a whole lot of sense if you think about it
Yeah.
for too long. But it's best not to think about it for too long.
Yeah. But this is, an analysis. So I mean, our job here is to analyze this thing.
Precisely. The camera lingers on this bird cage full of fake birds. I think they're fake.
Yeah,
birds.
I noticed that, and there is a callback to it, but I don't even
Oh,
understand the purpose of this or the callback at all.
Well, I think it's that the show they're living in an artificial environment, and that they're also kind of fake people. That this is a fake life in a fake world, and
Okay.
something. And they kind of shit on walls a couple times, like, oh, these walls are meant to keep everybody in here. But it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
what's the fucking alternative, dude? Just let all the zombies wander in, like.
Yeah, and this is, of course, this is before the unreasoning hatred of any walls in modern society. So,
Well, I think it's to show these people are actually trapped, and I guess if you want to go, they're trapped inside this fake lifestyle and fake environment. I'm like, okay, I can get on with that. It's a little forced. Again, I don't think every political analogy in this movie works. I think his metaphysical transcendent death shit works really well, and his political shit's pretty 50-50.
yeah, and he always kind of hits you. He sledgehammers it. He's not big on subtlety.
No, not at all, not at all.
So yeah, I mean, Romero, like he kind of throws shit at the wall, but most of it does stick. So at least
here
for most of his career.
Yeah. The next shot here, we see Riley and Charlie, and they're in the real city. This is like kind of like the reality because they're the grounded guys.
Seeing all these like empty streets and stuff, did kind of call back to Day of the Dead. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
So it might be like pretty much the same deal, same timeline. I think the people in Day of the Dead were just probably really stupid, and like their whole thing they had going was just ill thought out and like just dumb bullshit, and they didn't know what they were doing.
Well, Hopper did say he's the guy who had the plan. He's the guy who brought it all together. Maybe if Day of the Dead had a Dennis Hopper character, maybe he would have ruthlessly just established a town. Just in case everything here isn't beating over the head large enough, here we have a Statue of Liberty next to an armed guard with a gun.
Yeah, I didn't catch on to that, but yeah, that's Romero. That's big Romero right there. That's nice.
We also see a guy getting frisked. Can I say that? Frisked by an armed guard. Kind of in the same shot. So it's kind of like, hey, this is your America, guys. Look at this. These guys are getting.
Yeah, in Diary, the main characters in Diary get robbed by a National Guardsman, and then that same character is like one of the stars of Survival. So it's like, okay, cool.
Sounds good, Romero. We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
This shot here, there are some interesting murals back here. I think these probably just already existed in the environment.
Yeah. I don't think
Uh,
it's anything
no, I
planned.
just think that this is kind of just throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah.
But you do have the America and the Jesus, which is cool. I can dig it.
Yeah. I'm proponent of both.
You have a lot of street preachers in this. God is ever present in this movie. Turn from sin, turn to God. Next shot here. We got some soldiers guarding the joint, and they got an electric fence, and the zombies cannot get through.
Pretty
We get
well
the next.
fortified for now.
This here is Mulligan. He is kind of the populist rabble rouser, as it were. Let me back up here. Why he's Irish, I do not know. My guess is Romero had just watched Gangs of New York, and he's like, I want that in my movie. That's the only thing I could think of, is that he wanted a Liam Neeson type.
I mean, he hires his buddies, so he was probably like Romero's old high school buddy or something, you know? I don't know.
I don't know a whole lot about the IRA or if George Romero was interested in that or not either. I don't know, but the populist guy is an Irishman, which is like, oh, well, I can roll with that, sure. Mulligan is talking down Dennis Hopper, and he says that they did not build this place, and he points towards this tower. And this is kind of the evil Tower of Babel type thing that Hopper lives in, and we get some
Yeah.
good shots of it throughout the movie.
The Ivory Tower. Fiddler's
Mulligan, it is an Ivory Tower for real. Mulligan tells Riley if they join up together, they'd be unstoppable. Riley says he sees the fences around the place and feels like he's locked in. And he says he wants a place with no fences. This is kind of the maybe a criticism of Romero and people of his mindset, particularly in 2004, is they're very good at criticizing things, but they don't offer like much of an alternative.
Alternative solutions.
Yeah, like okay, you don't like the fence, dude. Well, what do you think we should do about the zombies? You know, just let them walk in.
Yeah, I mean that's where survival of the dead comes in. It's like it's ridiculous.
Right.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, you know, it's the idea of a zombie rights activist, right? And if the zombie apocalypse happened today, there would be zombie rights activists.
There absolutely would be, and
Yeah.
Romero might be one of them, man.
Let zombies vote. Like, give zombies the right to vote. Like give zombies citizenship. You know,
right.
It would happen.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Garlock.
Oh, you know, they had citizenship when they're alive. Why shouldn't they when they're dead? No, why can't they vote when they're dead? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're right, man. And they'd be rounding them up to take them to go voting. I think this scene is to show that Riley, he's not an idealist. He's not interested in fixing the current system. He just wants out.
Yeah.
So
he wants to go north.
Exactly. Which we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Cello's taking the booze up to Hopper, and he's greeted by the butler, who is about to stab him with some scissors. And he says he heard a noise across the hall. Cello goes across the hall and kicks the door down, and he finds a suicide has just taken place.
Yeah.
There's the guy hanging.
Yeah.
He picks up a blunt object to do what he has to do, but a hysterical lady comes to distract him. Meanwhile, the hanging guy's son comes over and gets bit.
I thought this scene was just really weird and like kind of almost just like time filler.
This movie is strange in that it feels simultaneously like it has some filler, but also like it didn't flesh some things out enough.
Yeah, it's only 90 minutes, but a lot of it's like, yeah, it's weird. It's weirdly paced.
Well, Leguizamo smashes the old zombie's head in, and the guard bursts in, and he's like, "What the hell's going on?" Leguizamo tells him it's his problem and leaves him alone with the lady and the guy who's about to turn. So Leguizamo was kind of just being a dick. You know, he did what he had to do, but he didn't like, hey, dude, by the way, that guy got bit. Be careful. I think it was just to show how self-centered he is.
Yeah,
he'll help out to an extent, but like not too much, I guess.
Yeah,
It is kind of odd.
he's probably like almost chaotic neutral, maybe, or chaotic. I don't know. Like Hopper's
Chaotic,
lawful evil.
chaotic neutral. Hopper's lawful evil. Riley's more kind of like neutral good or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably
For you,
neutral good. Yeah.
if there's any D&D people out there, you'll know what we're talking about.
Sorry, I don't
It's
even
all
play
good.
D&D.
I haven't in a long time, but I'm
I
also
haven't
really
played in
old.
like 25 years.
Riley's car is missing, and Charlie's like, "Did he get fucked, Riley?" kind of rubbing it in.
I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, I like that a lot. You
That was
got
good.
fucked, didn't you?
Here we have a bar where they're exploiting the zombies, and let's back up here a little bit. They're also getting paintballed. This was when Abu Ghraib was in the news, and I kind of felt like this was Romero leaning into Abu Ghraib. What do you think, Garlock?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I could be wrong, but everything else in this movie is so fucking heavy-handed. Like I wouldn't put it past them to, like, oh,
Yeah,
they're
I
gonna
mean this movie, and I watched some of the special features and shit before
right.
the stream, and he does. There is a lot of like admission to its sort of criticism of the W regime, which was
It,
then still going.
it was like the prequel to the Trump era,
Yeah,
where everybody was just
they
like
even
losing.
said that like Hopper is sort of based on Donald Rumsfeld. I'm
Oh,
just like,
see, really?
okay, that's
I,
interesting.
that is kind of odd, but okay, sure. Well,
Yeah,
I
I
would.
think that's a bit of a reach, but I have people delete me from Facebook because I wore a Let's Go Brandon shirt. So whatever, I don't care.
There was a post-apocalyptic show around this time called Jericho, around 0809, and there's
I heard about it. Yeah, I never watched it.
a bunch of cities got nuked, and it was like a false flag deal, and the bad guy looked just like Dick Cheney, and
Interesting.
he's even based in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Hey, Heather Stevens, welcome to see you, man. Or good to see you. Welcome. We're no longer alone here in the chat. Sweet. All right, next shot here. Asia Argento is
Azia. I don't know how to say her name, but yeah, I think it's Azia or Asia or I don't know. Say Asia. Asia's fine.
Heather, do you know how to pronounce her name? I don't. But she's chucked in the cage with two zombies painted black and red, and they're supposed to be fighting over her. I kind of thought I found her presence in this movie off-putting at the time because I kind of associated her with the Vin Diesel kind of it girl at the time.
I kind of figured it was like, I'm gonna have my buddy's daughter in the movie, and I think Azia's biggest problem is that she looks more like her dad than she does her mom. So, yeah.
Well, she's kind of a less charismatic Fairuza Balk kind of archetype.
Oh, I love Fairuza Balk. I kind of see Azia as like going for like some sort of like Winona Ryder type of thing, like post like 90s. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not a big Azia Argento fan.
I'm not. She doesn't ruin the movie or anything, and she's not bad.
Yeah, she's kind of just there. She's all right.
Yeah. But
her motivations are unclear, and like she kind of takes a liking to Riley, but they don't do anything. It's like I like it that she's fighting zombies. That's pretty cool,
Yeah, it's not bad. Next shot here we got. This is Chihuahua. Riley's hassling Chihuahua over his vanished car.
Do you know that actor's name? I can't remember.
I can't either. I should look it up.
I think he was on the Conan show and a bunch of other shit, like probably some full moon movies.
What was that? The Conan one with Rolf Mueller?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I liked it. I mean, it's pretty largely derided, but I thought it was fun.
All I know is the guy playing Conan was jacked, so that's all you need.
Yeah, and he kills people, so it's cool. He has a bunch of sidekicks, but whatever.
He sees Asia Argento fighting the Zeds in the cage, and he pulls his gun out and shoots them. And there's a gun battle where Or Asia Argento, wasn't her name Slack in this movie? I'll call her Slack from now on since I'm putting
Yeah,
her
yeah,
name.
it was Slack, yeah. But I don't think it's ever actually said.
It's not. Yeah,
There's
I don't
yeah, a
remember here.
lot of these movies is like you gotta. It's kind of like Star Wars. Like unless you have the fucking action figures or you're a total nerd, you have to look at the credits to be like, what are the name of these guys? It's like, Mon Mothma. They don't say Mon Mothma in the fucking movie.
Right. There's a gun battle where Slack saves Riley from getting shot. Charlie busts out the rifle and he takes Chihuahua down. And next shot, we got the police showing up. Oh, there he goes. He shoots that guy in the head. And they're in jail.
Yeah, the police. Like, okay, sure, they're still cops.
Slack says that she was helping Mulligan out and his people, so Hopper, who controls all vice in the city, had her tossed in the zombie cage. Riley says he wants to find a place with no people. He wants to run north of Canada. And again, like the Canada thing is the ultimate, like if you're some fucking hippie, boomer, lefty guy, we just got to get to
Yeah.
Canada, guys, and everything will be fucking like patty cake. Everything will be
Oh
fixed.
yeah, 100%, dude. It's like, oh, something bad is happening here in America. Let's move to Canada. It's like, cool. Or like let's move up to the Arctic where there's no snow or there's no people and just it's like 32,000 degrees below zero every day all the time. It's like, okay,
I suppose strategically speaking, there's less people there. But
yeah.
but since he's being so heavy-handed, I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think this was just a
America bad, Canada better.
Yeah, totally. Slack starts going on about how she was going to be a soldier, but ended up a hooker. And Riley says he doesn't want to hear her story. Everybody's got a story, and he's sick of hearing him because he's grizzled.
Yeah, he's cynical. Yeah, and I mean, shit, man. I'm not even in the zombie apocalypse, and I'm right there, dude. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear anybody's bullshit, man. I don't bother them with mine.
Right.
Like, I remember this one time, just real quick aside. Like, I was working at one of my shithole jobs, and I sold the lady this product, and then she was just talking to me about like some bad shit that's happening to her lately, and I'm just like, why are you telling me this? And she's like, oh, I thought you'd care. I'm like, no, I don't. No,
we're not paid enough to care. So next scene, Big D and his crew are here, and he instructs the butcher guy to make them a hole they can get through.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And Big D looks through and he sees all the people hanging around, and he's very upset by it. He doesn't like to see his people treated like that.
Yeah.
And the next scene is interesting because death intrudes on us even in the green, I'm afraid, says Hopper. And that is a take on the Latin phrase, et in Arcadia ego. Even in Arcadia, there's death. Arcadia being paradise.
Yeah.
And this is if you look for any paintings of et in Arcadia ego, they all look a lot like there's some innocent person and like, oh, look, there's a body. What's going on here? We die. Yeah. And it's great how they juxtapose that.
That was a good catch, man.
Oh, thanks, dude. I'm just, I'm a morbid, weird guy. So that's why I like Romero. But excuse me, the transcendent stuff he does here is on point. Cholo tells Hopper he wants to move and is told that it ain't happening because there's not enough room. Cholo immediately threatens Hopper with blackmail and says he knows about Hopper using him to eliminate dissidents, which is like really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious, dude? Did you think this is gonna work? So Cholo's kind of a dumbass.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he's kind of a hired goon who like has delusions of grandeur, I guess.
And he's right for not wanting him to move in. Hopper calls on a guard to have him escorted out, but Cholo beats him up and takes his gun. So Cholo is now an outlaw.
Yeah, an outlaw on a lawless land.
Exactly. We got a little bit of Punch and Judy here because we know Romero is all about the Renaissance Fest kind of activity.
Love a good puppet shot.
Here's another great shot. You got God blesses those whose hearts are pure, for they will see God. And right underneath that, you see Cholo, and his heart is not pure, and he probably won't see God. And I really like the town and all the attention to detail paid to these sets in this movie, and I kind of wish there's more of it. But it feels like they ran out of time. But with Dawn of the Dead, that's the fun part of the movie is the mall.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this stuff I didn't even catch.
Well, I only do because I'm like looking for it, scene by
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it all at all. Like I watched it last week, but next scene here, Big D and his crew arrive. Cholo and his crew steal the Dead Reckoning, and they don't stay to help. Fox and
Yeah,
Ness,
I thought that was like just kind of
kind of a dick
too
move.
easy. Like, I don't
Right,
know.
right.
It's like
Maybe could
you
have
have this
fleshed out
$2
a bit
million
more.
dollar thing, and okay, whatever.
As they're stealing Dead Reckoning, Fox asked Cholo if they should send up some sky flowers, and Cholo's like, "Nah, it's not our fight." So Cholo really is a total piece of shit. Not only does he steal the weapon during it, he doesn't help anybody out.
Yeah,
So
he's just out for himself. He doesn't really
he's
have any
kind of going
loyalty.
from a kind of likable rogue to more of a piece of shit rogue as the movie goes on.
Yeah, steals from the rich and gives to himself.
Big D seems to recognize the Dead Reckoning and he fires on it. And in Day of the Dead, Flyboy kind of lays out explicitly that the zombies are kind of acting as the hand of God to punish mankind. And I noticed Big D so many times he gets fired at. He's always like in a big crowd, and all the zombies are falling all around him, but he never gets hit.
He
And
gets hit a couple of times, but
not lethally, I guess.
yeah.
So is maybe Big D acting as the hand of God, as it were? Could be.
Well, he definitely has. He's more with it than most of the other guys, and he
It's
can
true.
even communicate with them. And I mean, a lot of zombies grunt, they're like, "Ugh," but he's all
Right,
like, "Motherfucker, get over here!" And they do. So
right. And
maybe
those
there's
scenes
some
were
sort of like zombie language or some latent telepathy or something that he's
could
kind
be.
of glommed onto. But yeah, he's clearly a leader. They follow him. They will do what the hell. They will follow him by. He leads by example.
Yeah,
He
he's a
leads
good
by
leader.
example.
He's a better foreman than Cholo.
Yeah. He's better. He's a better leader than anybody in this fucking movie.
Yeah, he really is.
Like better than Coffin, better than Cholo, better than Riley. Yeah, Big Daddy is
Even,
the guy. He's the
even
guy.
as the other zombies are eating the soldiers, Big D keeps his eye on the prize. He seems laser like focused on the tower here. And it's like, why the fuck would he know? And maybe he's being mystically guided. I don't know. Or maybe it's a good guess. But I
Oh,
don't think it's
lights
make.
are on.
That's true. The lights are on.
I mean, that's a good
Maybe,
tell.
maybe he's like a moth.
Yeah.
Maybe he just has a moth
Well,
brain.
I mean, they can sniff that shit out.
Yeah. Cholo makes his demands for $5 million or blow up the tower, and Hopper is just like, that's unfortunate. Hopper is very cold blooded. He's almost reptilian.
Yeah, he's the. Oh, bless you, sir. Bless you.
He's asked if there's any trouble and replies, in a world where the dead return to life, the word trouble loses much of its meaning. And then he also says that they do not negotiate with terrorists, which I thought was a Bush analogy, but I guess that could be Rumsfeld too.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely the administration.
I'm surprised he didn't say like any of the Rummyisms, like you go to war with the army you have, not the one you wish you had, or
Rums.
you have knowns, you have unknowns, and you have unknown unknowns. Or
I don't have too many Rumsfeld quotes.
I just remember those two. I'm surprised he didn't work them in. That's all
Yeah.
right. So Hopper sends the Gestapo down to grab Riley to do his dirty work. And Charlie reveals to Slack that Riley is the one who yanked him out of the fire that gave him his scars. So we get a little bit of backstory. Charlie's cool.
That's it. That's all the backstory.
That's all we get.
Yeah, the fire. Like,
Riley is talking to the big man and is given an offer he cannot refuse. Excuse me. Charlo was your man. Maybe you can get close enough to do what has to be done. Riley asked to take his friends with him, and Hopper's like, take him. Why not?
yeah, I mean, less mouths to feed, right?
Well, you think he'd want to keep Charlie around as a collateral, maybe? But we do find he has his own collateral here coming up.
Yeah.
The skater guy gets dumped off by Cello to snag the money.
This is the dumbest motherfucker I have ever seen in any zombie movie ever. Like, seriously.
Do you think Romero was like at the 7-Eleven one day and some skater guy pissed him off? Some skater kid?
Probably some skater guy wearing big ass headphones. It's like, I mean, if you're really good on a skateboard, I guess that's a good escape method and / weapon. But holy fucking shit, man! I mean, he's like going into the place, the abandoned whatever warehouse thing. He's wearing fucking headphones, so he can't hear anything, and he has a skateboard, which totally limits his mobility.
He's smoking a doobie too.
Yeah, and he's lit. I mean, I think pretty much all the let's see, they smoke doobies in Dawn of the Dead, right?
Yeah, that's true, but he's trying to be alert.
The Dead. But yeah, it's like, good lord, man.
I mean, I'd be smoking doobies too if this all went down, but not while I'm on the job.
Oh yeah, but not while you're on the job,
Yeah, what's funny is, as annoying as this character is, at least he wears headphones. If this was made in 2022, the guy would just be blasting on his phone.
That's true. Just be like yelling at his phone to his girlfriend, like
yeah,
on speaker.
Society has collapsed even more since this movie came out. The annoying people are far more annoying than this guy. But yeah, this guy's a dumbass. Next shot here. Riley and his crew are gunning up when it's revealed that Hopper's sitting some extra goons with him as insurance. They don't serve much of a purpose in the movie, but the big Samoan guy, Pillsbury, he kind of adds a little bit of flavor.
Yeah, he has a couple of decent lines.
Yeah, he's got some. Yeah. Sure, why not? This guy can be in here.
Yeah,
this guy, I don't even think he's Samoan. I think he's from Nicaragua, the actor.
That's usually how it goes, dude. I mean, like Yokozuna wasn't Japanese,
Right. We'll give Romero a pass.
Yeah,
we're not going to hold him to fire for that. It's not our place.
No, certainly
not. Cholo made a mess. No, Cholo didn't do all this. It was the Stenchers. There's a lot of nicknames for zombies in various media. Zeds, Zeeks, Biters, Walkers. Stenchers, I've only ever heard in this movie, and it didn't really stick.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird because everybody uses it stenches. Is it stenches?
Yeah, I think it's stencher.
Plural.
Like that guy's a stencher. He stinks.
Well, yeah, I mean, but is it stencher or just stench?
I think it's stencher, but I could be wrong.
Well, in any case, they never said that in any of the other movies. Certainly not the first three. The one I like Geek from Dead World.
Okay.
And I also like Dipshit.
I was about to ask you if you had a favorite nickname for them, but you beat me to it.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, Geeks. Geeks is great because it's monosyllabic and it's very apropos. Because they do bite the heads off of shit, right?
That's true.
And Dipshits is cool because they are.
Why not? It's mean spirited. I can get it.
Yeah.
I like Zeds because Zed's dead and it's quick and easy to say. I think Zeke's makes no sense at all. I'm not a big fan of Zeke.
Zombie. Yeah. What's that from?
I think it's from the that sci-fi Walking Dead ripoff. I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
Well, the Dead Walking or whatever. I don't know. Like the traveling corpses or.
It's got DJ Qualls in it. I bet Heather knows. It was on Sci-Fi. I think I could be wrong too. Maybe they didn't. I don't know where it came from. If it wasn't that, but regardless, Stenchers. All right, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
we'll roll with it. Sure, varies by region. All right, next scene here. What the hell? I jumped too far ahead. Am I missing a picture here? My slideshow?
I hope you have a still of Pillsbury decking his partner.
I think I do.
Sweet.
There's that guy.
That was a good little scene.
Yeah. Riley warns Dennis Hopper about the zombies heading their way, and he says they're mindless walking corpses, and many of us will be too if you don't focus on the task at hand. The zombies, man, they creep me out. Dennis Hopper is kind of really phoning it in this movie.
Oh yeah,
but he's still great, even though there's zero effort put in.
Yeah, he's rad, dude. I mean, so I saw an interview with him where somebody asked him about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and he said that he was so blown out on coke he has absolutely zero recollection of ever making that movie.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was high on something during this movie too, because he seems like he's
maybe he was on mushrooms.
Could have. Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
They're hot wiring a car to get out of town, and Pillsbury says yellow to red. And somebody says, "What the fuck does the Samoan know about hot wiring a car?"
I like this.
50,000 cars stolen in Samoa every year. Yeah, well, 1 million in Detroit. Detroit has 50 million cars. Samoa, 50,000. Everyone stolen.
So now, it makes me wonder, like, did Romero get beat up by a bunch of Samoans when he was a kid?
Well, I was like, that sounds that's a hilarious line. Is that actually true though? I mean, like,
it's funny, but it's like all Samoans are car thieves. You know, like
it's really for being the champion of the little guy. He's compared the people of like Iraq and Afghanistan to zombies.
Well, Pillsbury is not too little though, man. I mean,
right.
in general, Samoans aren't all that. I guess the Usos are kind of tiny.
Well, anyway, regardless, he kind of throws all of Samoa under the bus for a gag.
Yeah, it's weird, and it's pretty random too. It was funny though. I mean, I'd like to see the data on that. Like, are there a bunch of rampant car robberies in Samoa? Like,
we will leave that to the viewer to decide.
Yeah, I was like, let us know, Trembling Colors, when you eventually watch this.
We got a headless priest shows up, and the guy
is he?
The guy swings his head over and bites the guy. What did you think of this scene, Garlock? Was this
I thought it was cool, but like his body wouldn't still be working because it's all about the brain, like that still controls the body. So his head would still be alive, but it wouldn't be controlling his body at this point.
This was more of like a Fulci style gag.
Yeah, it was a good gore gag that, much like a lot of these things, you don't want to think too much into it because it kind of wrecks continuity, and it doesn't go with the canon.
Romero was a little sharper with the gags in his previous movie, and here it's like, okay, you're slipping up a little bit, but we'll let it go.
Yeah, like the thing I appreciate about Fulci is that damn well he just said, okay, here's like a dozen set pieces of like things getting massacred.
Right.
Just make those, and then we'll figure out the story around it.
Yeah, it's just ad-libbed.
Yeah.
For real.
And that's why I like Zombie and The Beyond, and I think I like all of Fulci's 4 movies better than I like this one. But not better than the first 3.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Slag asked Riley how long Guy has before he turns, and he says, "My little brother was bit. In less than an hour, he turned. I thought you said nothing bad would happen to you." And he says, "That happened to my brother. That didn't happen to me." So very,
he's detached.
Like he's detached, like from trauma, basically. I think.
Yeah.
He's not really a bad guy. Cholo is just kind of a piece of shit. But Riley's dealing with some trauma from his brother getting bit, and it's kind of made him in this dark loner type.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, it's going to be like everybody knows somebody who suffered from a zombie attack.
He knows it's kind of bad for him to go on about it. Everybody's got it bad, so let's not whine about it.
Yeah.
Hopper explains the backup plan for the elites to escape, and a subordinate asks, "Hey, what about the others?" He's referring to us, the little people. And Hopper says, well, they can be replaced by others. So the elites kind of have a breakaway civilization, I guess, as it were, or kind of they're a rootless, I guess you could say. They don't really care. It doesn't matter what people they're vampirizing. They can just kind of move to another town and find some more jabronis.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is like I have other places that we could go to. I mean, maybe that was total bullshit, you know? Like maybe I mean, there's a lot of lines in this movie that don't really seem to have any sort of like world building backup to them, or any, like it's like how's this work, you know? So it's another one of those things like don't think too much about probably.
I think Romero was kind of firing at like 80% here. Whereas Day of the Dead, he's firing at 100%. It's still a good movie, but you can kind of feel like he's slipping.
Yeah.
And by the time of Survival of the Dead, he was gone.
Yeah, it's really sad because he wanted to make more, but yeah.
Oh, I'm glad he did it now after seeing Survival. Also, this is kind of interesting. He stops the clock before he talks to kind of show maybe he is the master of time. He is the god here, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't catch that, but that's the only way I could see it.
He says, it was my ingenuity that took an old world and made it into something new. I took the people off the streets by giving them games and vices. So he created a new world order, and he's definitely not some like virtuous Marcus Aurelius type. He kind of views the people as a problem that needs to be pacified.
Basically, what he did was like he found a mall just like in Dawn of the Dead, except it was a big high rise,
Right.
and he had money to hire goons, and he just took it over, and he
Yeah. It's kind of a parasite.
yeah.
Hoffman might not pay, or Kaufman, I guess. Oh, he's going to pay because if he doesn't, I'm going to do a jihad on his ass, says Cholo here. Interesting language.
Yeah, I thought so too. I caught that.
Because he is essentially an asset, like an intelligence asset of the state, who does the dirty work for him.
He's also referred to as a terrorist.
Yeah, absolutely. He's kind of like a Bin Laden analog, I think, in a way.
Yeah, it's like you're useful to us until you're not, and then please don't blow us up after that.
Right. And then what's he going to do? He's going to blow up their tower with their own shit. Interesting.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Pretty good shit by Romero here. And it's followed by a senseless act of violence where he kills the lawnmower zombie for no reason.
Fuck him.
Just a gag.
Yeah. I kind of like that because you just see him pop in the monitor. I'm like, all right, cool.
Riley stops the car and explains to the goons that after this is over, he's keeping the truck and they can either like it or get the fuck out. Charlie remarks that Riley's going back on a deal and he's never done that before. Charlie's got great purity of heart, but sometimes you got to tell the devil to fuck off. Sometimes you got to steal Hopper's truck. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
He's good, but he's not that good.
He's good within the realms of the current world we're living in, or they're living in.
Yeah, but he's not just a complete chump. Yeah. We got Skater Guy and his rat. He says no, the money hasn't gotten here yet, so he loads the guns up. And next shot, here he is rocking headphones for some fucking reason.
Yeah, genius, total genius. Yeah, I got way ahead of myself back then. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good, man. He gets eaten by zombie clowns, but actually maybe the clown is him for wearing the fucking headphones. But maybe it's harder to find good help these days.
Yeah, it's unreal.
He's got something to have. He's got something.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What's so important to listen to that you like? Whatever.
It probably wasn't even anything good.
Survival of the fittest, A Darwin Award winner mouse right there.
Hey, we got some more moon death symbolism. There's the moon, the full moon, and there's the skateboard because the guy's dead.
Yeah. Wahaha.
Zombies are by the water. Big Daddy, the Giga Chad zombie, hops in the water, and the rest follow. And we got a nice little sequence here. If you can see it, the scene is so filmed so fucking dark.
Yeah.
This is based
Appreciate
on.
it from an artistic standpoint, but it's kind of
Right.
hard to see what the fuck's going on. So yeah.
Again, he's firing at 80% here. This could have been a.
Now, I wonder if Big Daddy knew to do that or that he could do that from watching Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. This scene, of course, is based off of Carnival of Souls. Have you seen Carnival of Souls, Garlock?
No, it's on my bucket list, but nah, I haven't.
It's pretty good.
That's what I hear. Yeah, it's all kind of
Spooky ghost shit.
yeah. Is it phantasmagoric or sort of? You ever seen The Haunting, the original?
Fuck, I'm trying to remember. Was that one with Vincent Price, or was that House on Haunted Hill?
That was Haunted Hill. The Haunting was directed by the guy who did The Day the Earth Stood Still, and it was a G-rated haunted house movie, and it's the scariest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life, and it's rated
Oh,
G.
nice.
It's like, yeah, 1960, The Haunting.
I think I saw the remake.
Oh, yeah, where Owen Wilson gets his head chopped off or whatever. Or Luke Wilson.
They did a remake of The Haunting and a remake of The House on Haunted Hill that came out at the same time.
It's so fucking confusing.
Yeah, yeah.
I like the House on Haunted Hill remake. That was rad. And they had the Mr. Price guy. That was cool. I like that.
It's been like 20 years since I saw it. I remember I liked the Vincent Price one. It was,
Dude. I have just stacks of Vincent Price DVDs, man. I love them. Love them to death.
Heavenly Mammon says, I should be in both YouTube and here, but Twitch is playing nicer with my phone right now. Oh, okay. That's good to know. We're kind of running an experiment here, dual casting to both Twitch and YouTube. Kind of a strange scene here. We got these two ladies making out for some reason, and then they get eaten.
I think it's just gratuitous, girl on girl action.
It
is exactly what it is. When I saw it, scene, I'm like, okay, this is here for the only reason, no other reason other than to be here.
Eric Bischoff called it HLA, hot lesbian action.
Yes,
very
sir.
2005, very Howard Stern, very like we got Ozzy Argento and
so this is HLZA, right?
I guess so. Well, not yet. They're not zombies yet.
Okay. Oops.
Pretty good infestation shot. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
One of the better shots. Again, it's really fucking dark. You can't see anything. But whatever. Was this the first? I assume this was filmed on digital.
I have no idea.
Where's Day and
I don't think he would film digitally, dude. Romero,
a lot of the blue filter in the beginning felt very like we're going to film it digital, then to make everything blue to kind of hide that we filmed digital. I could be wrong though. I don't know. If anybody knows, it'd be great.
I mean,
but
this movie kind of what it seemed like is like mostly practical with like some CG like slapped on, like in the behind the scenes. Like I think like all the zombies are pretty much extras. They're not like just put in there,
Right.
Like this might be. I mean,
CG?
this is probably just like make little computer dots, but
it's probably when it's dark. Yeah, you're right.
I think this was mostly practical. Oh, interestingly enough, like there's a character in this movie named Pretty Boy, and that is my cat's name, who's yelling like a little bastard right now while I'm on stream.
Nice. Well, your cat has some representation going on here.
Yep.
Next shot we got. Oh, I guess I missed it. Oh yeah, Pillsbury. Where we at? Knocks out Motown, one of the goons.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, so she winks at him, like, okay, we're gonna betray these fuckers. He winks back and then just like clocks her.
There's not really any reason given. I'm guessing he just doesn't like Hopper.
Yeah. Well, he's probably sees that the writing's on the wall. Hopper's fucked. He's not going to get his paycheck anyway. So you might as well join up with the good guys and,
Yeah, that works for me. Riley makes it to the Dead Reckoning. And Cello says, "Who's the smart one now?" If he was smart, he would have just shot him when he walked up to it.
Probably, yeah.
Next shot. The chick wakes up because they didn't even bother tying her up, which is kind of weird. Again, like Romero being sloppy.
Yeah.
Riley confronts Cholo and tells him that if he hits that tower, he's going to kill a lot of our friends. And Cholo blames Kaufman. He says, he turned me into a goon and now he's going to piss all over me. The sin of pride here exhibited by Cholo.
Yeah, it's a lot of the whole, like, collateral damage, whatever,
Right.
the whatever you need to do.
He just wants his revenge.
Yeah.
Riley disables
Nothing
it
else
with his
matters.
remote control. For some reason, that they let him keep his remote control that he admitted to having. But I'll let that go because Joe is kind of a dumbass.
Yeah. It seemed like, there's remote control. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Kaufman's goon lady that got knocked out earlier takes a shot at Cholo, but Riley kicks him out of the way. She then gets eaten by a zombie, and Slack puts a bullet in her head. That's kind of her role in the movie. She's the I got to do the heartless shit.
Yeah. I mean, her
Kaufman
role in the movie is like, my dad's best friends with the director, like,
right.
whatever. She's not bad, though. I mean, I'm not like, oh my God, I hate her. It's just whatever.
Kaufman's taking off the money, and this goes, "Hey, where are you going with that money?" And
This is some cold-hearted shit, man.
He's like, "Oh, what's that? Look out!" And he shoots him in the back of the head.
Yeah, I swear to God, I've seen this scene, that exact scene in something else, like very recently, like maybe some dumbass action movie or something. I don't know. Like maybe it'll come back to me, but like same sort of thing, like taking off the money. It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, oh look, it's
He then gets the phone call from Riley saying that they stopped Cholo, and he says,
Oops.
"I said something I might not have done otherwise." Oops.
Might not have done otherwise.
Right. He might not have.
Like maybe I wouldn't just kill this guy in cold blood if like all the shit was going my way.
Kaufman hears an explosion and accuses Riley of lying, and he says, "That's not Cholo." Cholo says, "Look at that! I don't even have to blow the place up. The Stenchers did it all for me." And Riley decides to take the Dead Reckoning back to help the town. And Cholo and his bro decided to go it alone. I thought it was kind of cool of Fox. He's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll follow you around, Cholo. What the fuck not?"
Yeah.
Bros till the end, man.
A lot of the character motivation here is kind of just sudden and but I guess you kind of gotta just wing it during the zombie apocalypse. Just go on autopilot,
That's true. Here we got Savini as Blades returning.
Yeah, he's credited as Machete Zombie in the movie,
Nice.
but in the special feature it says his name is Blade, even though his name is Blades in Dawn of the Dead. But it's canonically the same character.
Okay.
I even looked on the freaking like Night of the Living Dead wiki, and he is the only reoccurring character in up to this point in the series, and then later in Diary and Survival you get the National Guard guy or whatever. But yeah, and he was badass,
Yeah, totally.
Blade's not the National Guard guy. That guy sucked.
Rocket those fences. And Riley makes a comment about what's meant to keep people safe will keep them inside. This is another Romero shitting on walls for some fucking reason.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, do you sleep with your doors open at night, dude? Come on.
He probably doesn't like just invite homeless people to come camp out in his front lawn,
Right.
Maybe he does. I don't know. I mean, maybe he did. Doesn't do shit anymore.
Cholo gets bit. Can you believe it? Nothing works out the way you want it to. Kind of a downer attitude towards life. But he does get bit, though, so he's probably not in the best mood.
Yeah.
Again, his bro, Fox, says, it's your choice, bro. Other than going along with the jihad, Fox seems like a decent guy.
Yeah. Other than jihad.
There's loyalty and honor amongst thieves, I guess.
Yeah.
He says that he always wanted to see how the other half lives.
Fox actually kind of reminds me of maybe like Steel from Day of the Dead.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Just a good soldier.
Kind of like the same archetype there.
Yeah,
The gruff, like badass guy who like doesn't take any shit from anybody, but deep down he actually has a decent heart, maybe.
The next scene, we have the zombies all picking up tools, which I think is supposed to be like reminiscent of a peasants' rebellion kind of deal.
Yeah, like or
Like
it could be like I kind of saw it as like a reverse of the villagers like picking up the torches and pitchforks to go after the Frankenstein,
oh, okay, yeah,
Dr.
you're right.
Frankenstein in his castle, dude.
That's very good. That works for me.
So it's a role reversal with the monsters and the humans, right?
This here, Cholo gets dropped off by Fox and wishes him luck. And what I think was cool is this is the last scene we see Cholo alive. And it's almost like he's entering like a canal. He's like going into the underworld here.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty sweet. Almost like yeah, he's going to his death.
And the virus seems to like hit him like quicker in this one than in the other ones. Like
this
maybe I guess it varies.
this is the end of his scumbag's journey, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Next scene here, Big D and his crew show up at the green. And they bust out the tools. We got the class uprising. The proletariat have had enough of Dennis Hopper and his reptile ways.
Down with King Bowser.
Yeah. The next scene is very reminiscent of the end of Dawn of the Dead, where we get some carnage at the mall.
Yeah.
Here we go. She's explaining to Slack how to work this thing, and she says it's just like a video game, which felt like another reference. It felt like another reference to the military, another like drones being like a video game kind of deal.
Well, you know what's funny? Like on this DVD, like I let the trailers play, and the first trailer was an ad for the fucking PS2 video game of Land of the Dead: The Road to Fiddler's Green, which honestly like looked like a big pile of shit on the screenshots, but who knows?
Probably
It's
is.
a 20-year-old video game, so. But any comments out there on Land of the Dead: Fiddler's Green?
I looked to see if it was on Steam. I couldn't find it. So
Yeah,
unfortunately,
probably not. Probably not. Maybe, who knows?
Slag blows the door down and nearly kills Riley in the process because she's the edgy 2000s girl, and that's just what they do.
Yeah, there's that scene earlier, or was it earlier, where Charlie shoots somebody behind Slack because he's like an expert marksman.
Mm-hmm.
And then, does that happen yet?
Oh no, that happened. I just failed to document it. I probably should.
Okay, so yeah, Charlie shoots a zombie right behind Slack, and she's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh, it was a little off center, because he hit him like right there, so it wouldn't hit her." And then like she has her fucking like machine gun or whatever, and she does the same thing, and like blows off a bit of Charlie's ear, and he's like, "Well, I didn't hurt you," It's like, oh, man.
She's kind of a reckless idiot.
Yeah, totally. Kind of
we got
along for the ride.
We got the electric fence. The rich people are trying to get out, but they can't because the fence is there. Dead Reckoning gets surrounded, and Riley has to jump on the roof. Here are all the unlikable, well-to-do types, and they are all doomed. I think this guy even says we're fucked.
Yeah, probably.
They send the sky flowers, and it looks like the well-to-do folks are saved for a moment, but the psyops stop working.
And of course, like they just stand there while the zombies are like gaping up at the flowers. They don't like think about like, let's get the fuck out of here or something. They're just like, oh, haha, stupid zombies. Oh wait, shit.
I think this is Romero warning that eventually their psyops will stop working and the low people will rise up.
Yeah.
And we get the call back here to the cage earlier. And I was like, look at them now. They're trapped inside their little wall they built for themselves.
Yeah, is there a bunch of like blood splatter also?
I'm not sure if it gets on the bird or not, but it seemed kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, okay, whatever, Romero.
Dennis Hopper can't shoot for shit, man. Good Lord.
He also says you have no right. He feels he has the right though because of his pedigree, his heritage, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's the zombie apocalypse is kind of like the most basic scenario of, might is right, right? So he figures that he took over the thing, he ran the thing, so it's his by rights of conquest.
His manservant runs away with the keys. I wonder how come Dennis Hopper doesn't have like some special forces type guys guarding him? Maybe because he doesn't trust them.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe they'll take over. I don't know. Weird cinematic device.
Yeah. Or like his police. Are they his police? Like,
right.
I mean, they're probably not still getting cut federal checks, like
right, not at all.
Direct deposit, zombie apocalypse. I don't know. Like, what's the use of money? Like you can't go to a store. You just
right.
There's all sorts of shit in this movie. It doesn't make any sense.
Big D takes down the gas nozzle, and he kind of breaks the window, and he fills the cart with gas, and he walks away. Here we got Zombie Cholo, and he's going after Hopper. And while they're wrestling around, they get blown up by Big Daddy. He rolls like a can of fire down there.
Yeah, like Hopper fires at Cholo like a pretty decent range and just refuses to hit him in the head, and then it gets blown up. So maybe Hopper should have played some more Lethal Enforcers or something.
We see the money going everywhere, like to kind of show the two greedy guys kind of die together in a big explosion of money.
Yeah, the whole money thing is interesting because in Dawn of the Dead, like they empty out all the registers and they have all this fucking money, but the point in Dawn of the Dead is it's useless. They know it's useless, so they just like play poker with it or whatever, set it on fire. Like it doesn't matter because it's a post-civilization society, and there's still civilization here, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because it's supposed to be like these are the last remnants of humanity. Like you'd have something other than money. Like it would be like more of a barter system. Like you can't. I don't know. I would think.
Heaven says this movie's pretty terrible, and I'm reminded how disappointed I was watching in theaters. I don't think it was terrible, man, but it's definitely not up there with his best. It's a lot of it is pretty forced and dumb.
A lot of the post 2000 Romero stuff is a little questionable. I'd give this one, like, if you don't think too much about it, I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5.
That's about what I'd give it to, 4 out of 5.
Yeah. It's better than Bruiser,
Dennis Hopper.
You ever seen Bruiser?
I haven't seen Bruiser, no.
That's so weird.
Dennis Hopper in the past saved it from being complete trash. Dennis Hopper's pretty great in this.
Yeah, and even if he's phoning it in, like he has enough gravitas and just enough personality, cult of personality that he can just do whatever. I mean, like Texas Chainsaw 2, like he was totally over the top and just blown out on a joke, and he's brilliant.
He definitely didn't phone that one in. We were too late. The sky flowers don't work no more. And he tells Charlie to shoot the missiles, and they blow them all up. They blow up the zombies because all the rich people are dead. But
that was kind of cool. Just
kind of
explosions. Like
the scrappy underclass are still alive though. Mulligan and his kid here, right? I guess these are more the working class. I guess not really the poor.
Yeah.
And he says, "Why don't you stick around? We'll turn this place into what we always wanted it to be. Maybe, but then what will we turn into? We'll see, won't we?" And,
that's pretty heavy-handed there.
Want to go to Canada now, Riley? Because that's the paradise.
It's utopia. That's the promised land.
There's no problems in Canada at all. It's just everything's perfect. We get one final jump scare, and we have Pillsbury checking the Zed out the window. This reminded me a lot of the end of Johnny Mnemonic with Ice-T and Dolph.
God, I have never seen that. Like,
Oh,
I need to watch that.
it's pretty good.
See
Riley
if I can
sees
find a $5 DVD.
Big D and his crew are leaving, and he says they're just looking for a place to go, same as us. It's like, okay, whatever, man.
I mean, they're looking for human flesh to eat, dude. Like,
Right.
you know, come on, man.
Yeah, it's very kind of goofy, Romero. What are you doing here?
Okay, so does Big Daddy actually eat anybody in this movie?
I don't think he does. I don't think he
Yeah.
does. That's interesting.
So, I mean, they don't need it for sustenance. They just eat the stuff because it's their instinct to. So maybe the flesh eating instincts have actually sort of fallen away from them. That they just kind of want to do their own thing in this
Right.
second trilogy, right?
Mhm.
But the humans like, fuck the zombies, we got to kill them all, right? And the zombies are just like, oh, just leave us alone. Let us do our little tambourine man shit. So, but they do eat people if the people, maybe it's one of those things like instead of like seeking out the people, they're like Leatherface and they just fuck with you. Like if you come trespass on his property, then you get turned into, you know, a lamp and some burgers and some chili. It's weird.
I'm sticking with my hand of God theory because I don't have any better ones for the behavior. It's very strange.
Yeah, I do like the hand of God theory that, I mean, it goes back to, you know, when there's no room left in hell, the devil walked the earth. So
It's true.
that works.
Riley says, fire off what's left inside those tubes. We aren't going to need it anymore. Well, you might.
That didn't make any sense at all. Like, why would you do that? Like, you might need them for something,
Yeah.
some thing in the future, maybe.
Well, they might still work on the zombies up north. You have no idea.
Yeah, you know, like these are sort of like high trained, like Big Daddy led zombies, but I don't think there's like a group consciousness or group telepathy with zombies. I mean,
Right.
it's like if you know put 1,000 zombies in a room together, they'll write, you know, the Great American Novel. Like, I don't think that's the case. I don't think they have some sort of hive intellect.
So street level, it's completely fucking stupid. Symbolically, Riley dismantles the military-industrial complex's psyops mechanisms,
Yeah,
while also showing mercy and in helping others out saves his own soul. Cholo,
yeah,
on the other hand, gains his vengeance but loses his soul and his life in the process. So
yeah.
symbolically, fantastic. Street level, like actually thinking about it, completely fucking stupid. That's kind of the his analogies aren't great in this movie, is what I'm saying. Maybe not the tightest screenplay.
And Cholo did say he always wanted to know how the other half lived.
Yeah.
And but he doesn't survive. Like, he gets blown up, right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he doesn't even get to see that.
Yeah. So he got to be a zombie for like 5 minutes and then
right.
Whereas you got Blades, who's been like running around for like fucking 20 years, just wrecking shit, or whatever the timeline is, you know.
Blades actually seems like he's having a good time as a zombie.
Oh yeah, he's Jim Dandy. He's like,
yeah, I'm invincible now, and I still get to kill people. Sweet.
Yeah. Machete zombie.
So yeah, that was Land of the Dead, and I would say it's maybe underrated. I don't know. I mean, I absolutely did not like it 20 years ago or whatever. Now I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, like when I first saw it, I was a little underwhelmed. And then I watched it again when I got the DVD, maybe like a year later. And I was like, okay, this is good. You know, it's not great, it's good. And I pretty much have the same thing here. But here's what I wish would have happened. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have these three movies, right? Yeah, Land, Diary, Survival. What I would like to see is take the budgets from all three of these movies and smash them into like one cohesive story of Twilight of the Dead. And you could have like some of this have not bullshit. You could have a little bit of this like found footage like crap. You could even have this stupid fucking Hatfield McCoy story like just for like 5 minutes. And then you have a bunch of like helicopters and tanks and like zombies getting blown up and big old battles and shit. And But we never got it. We never got it.
They did, and Walking Dead, they did the same storyline from Survival. We're like, oh, these people were my neighbors, and we have to keep them alive in my barn because we might be able to cure them. And the main guy's like, that's completely fucking stupid. And
That's sad that plot point was ripped off by The Walking Dead. That's pathetic, really.
right.
I mean, I've never watched The Walking Dead, but like, I feel so fucking bad for George Romero because he invented this genre and he was never able to cash in on it except for a little bit from Dawn of the Dead.
Well, when did Survival come out? That Walking Dead comic.
09.
I think the Walking Dead comic was around 06. So Romero actually, I think Romero might have actually lifted that from Walking Dead.
This is 2010. Walking Dead started in 06, or the comic?
The comic did, yeah. The comic started.
I don't know if he was reading the comic. He might have read the comic, but
he probably did. I don't know.
I mean, he wrote some comics. So yeah, it was probably pretty likely.
It started in 03. Holy shit.
Yeah, I have never read Walking Dead or watched it or anything. One of the things that I was told or I read about the TV show is that it's set in a world where nobody has ever heard of even the remotest concept of like somebody coming back to life as a zombie. So it's like The Walking Dead takes place in a zombie-free pop culture world. That just doesn't make a fucking lick of sense to me, dude.
I don't know if that's ever brought up or not. I never really thought about it. I don't think they bring it up in this movie, do they?
Yeah, I mean, I think like in the Romero ones, they're like, oh shit, the dead are walking, and they figure out real quick, shoot them in the head.
Right.
But then people just don't do it, so you can have extra gore effects, I guess. But yeah,
go ahead, Garlock.
Oh, I read on Wikipedia that they actually are making Twilight of the Dead from a George Romero script that he started before he died, and that like his heirs or somebody are going to finish. And from what he wasn't satisfied with Diary and Survival as being like his last movie, so he wanted to make like one last epic zombie movie to wrap it all up. And so maybe we'll see that, obviously not by him because rest in peace George Romero, but if it's done correctly. And I mean, there have been so many shitty zombie movies. Like, if it just comes out, I'll be happy, even if it's like a total festering piece of like hot trash. But maybe we'll see Twilight of the Dead one of these days. That's
that'd be cool.
Sort of kind of George Romero.
I think this is the first Romero movie we've done that wasn't like 3 hours long. The stream.
Well, Day of the Dead, was that over 2 hours, or was it?
Yeah, I think it was like a 2 hour stream, and
I mean, the fucking stream was like 3 hours long, but was a movie.
Yeah, so this one, I think we're up about an hour and a half. Not too bad. Any other thoughts on Land of the Dead, Garlock?
I'm glad it exists.
Yeah, that's about it. It's okay. It's okay.
I wish I like the cast. I don't know anybody else like the lead guy Riley. I don't know what else he's been in. I didn't IMDb him.
I think he's no idea. I think he's in some television shows.
Apparently he's British because in the behind the scenes thing he had a British accent. So
yeah, he was all right.
Over there. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I'm gonna watch Diary and Survival again, like probably in the next couple of days, just so I can reassess them.
I think it'll probably be better without him too. Sadly, that Twilight movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he has a story treatment and like, okay, this is a basic plot, and they get people that really care about it and like get some. I mean, if you get like the Shaun of the Dead guys in to do a little bit of script doctoring or something, and kind of make it like an all-star thing, it might be really cool. But if it's just like, if you're just gonna make a shitty zombie movie and like slap Romero's name on it, that he didn't really have anything to do with it because he's fucking dead, then that would be kind of gross. But we'll see what happens.
It's like a zombie script in a way.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's a good place to end it. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy.